My name is Jackson, aka the Big Unit. Some of you know me as the guitar repair guy. Some of you know me as the lead singer, guitarist, and songwriter for the heavy metal band Shatterbone. Some of you know me as an electrical educator. Some of you know me as the guy with the crazy guitar collection. Some of you know me as a die-hard Raiders fan. For years I have worked on, collected, played, and spent all my free time around guitars. But now I am going to do something I have never attempted before. I'm gonna build a guitar. Alright. Well, that looks like it feels a lot better as far as clearance goes. Sorry, the fan is going. It might be a little bit loud. If it's obnoxious, I apologize. Alright, so shape didn't change too extravagantly, but it did a little. It's got more of a Yamaha Pacifica look to it now instead of an Iceman, but I still think it looks alright. I think it'll still make me happy in the end, so that's the important part, since I sincerely doubt I will ever sell my first build, even if I end up not all that impressed with it by the time I'm finished. But as of right now, I think I'm okay. So, I guess the next step is going to be to start shaping this. I'll be honest with you, this is a little bit skinny for my taste. My favorite guitar is like a quarter-sawn baseball bat, okay? I mean, the neck is more comparable to a classical guitar neck than it is to an electric guitar. I wear a size 16 ring on my ring finger, okay? The Big Unit is not a creative nickname. This is a standard 24 3/4 neck, okay? I'm not a little dude. So anyway, that's even if I do nothing to this neck, that's kind of a small neck for my taste. I do want to shape it just a little bit, but I really don't want to lose the thickness where I'm at right now, because that's about where I would normally have a neck I would appreciate on the skinnier side of things. When you start talking about like wizard necks and, you know, Ibanez Jackson necks, no, I get hand cramps trying to play little skinny necks like that. So I'll have to get I have a custom Warmoth that I had built for me years ago, and it has a fat back neck on it, and it's got a 1 3/4 nut. So I mean, it's, like I said, it's more like a classical guitar neck. It's huge. But for this, they already radius the fretboard. Crimson already radius the fretboard, so I don't have to piddle with that. That's kind of nice. I do kind of want to get a center line on this. If I try to get that as close to, hey, let's flip that over so I can read it. All right. If I get that as close to the nut as I can. All right. there. And then there. Okay. You know what? I am going to just scoot this over to my soldering table for now. Yes, I have a table that is specifically for soldering and doing electronic repairs and stuff like that, because most of the people who know me for guitar repair work and stuff like that know me for doing those kinds of things. You know, asking me to put a new pickup in their guitar or replace a faulty potentiometer or change the capacitor to something that's a little bit brighter. So anyway, okay, I've got my center line here. Now, watching Crimson, watching Ben, and several of the other builders that I like to watch, Bonehead Guitars, Sweet Tea Guitars, a lot of these guys, you know, talk about doing a faceted style of shaping the neck. So going halfway, so going halfway between the center line and the edge here and drawing a facet there, and then same thing here, and then doing the same thing on the side where you go halfway between the fretboard and the edge and drawing a facet line, and then just trying to round between those 2 points. I think I'm probably going to go that route. It just seems to me like that's the least likely scenario for me to completely screw it up. So okay. All right, then Shinto saw rasp. Nifty little tool here. It's basically made out of a whole bunch of hacksaw blades that they bend into a diamond waffle style. One side's rough, one side is fine. And from everybody I've watched, listened to, etc., this is about the best way of going about shaping a neck. So hopefully everybody's not lying. Alright, so here we go. You know what? One more thing I want to do here quick. Just before I get started, I'm going to mark where my nut line is. Because I don't have enough meat here for a volute, but at the same time, or volute, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, if you're British enough. Sorry, that was awful. But anyway, at least that gives me an idea where to stop doing the rounding stuff and kind of try and transition into the headstock. Yep, fan's gonna have to go off. As much as I really would like to have the fan on right now, I got a feeling that it's just going to blow sawdust everywhere if I leave it on. So I think my idea here is, rather than doing a hard angle facet, which is going to give me more of a angled octagon style, and then sand it down, which is going to take a lot more off the thick part of the neck, I'm going to go more for like a D shape or a C shape, where I'm going to take the edges between this line and this line in a curve, and I'll sand those smooth, but this part here I'm going to try and leave alone, try and keep the thickest part of the neck alone, so I still have a fairly thick neck when I'm finished. I want something I enjoy playing, you know, I mean, after all, like I said, you know, for at least the first one, I'm building this just for me, and I really want to end up with something that I don't hang on the wall and look at and go, ugh, every time I think about playing it. I want something I'm going to enjoy playing. The heavier, the rough cut side moves a lot more material a lot faster, but it also likes to grab a lot more. think to get down here, I'm probably going to have to... Hang on a second here. I'm going to just check and see if you can even see what the heck I'm doing at the moment. Hey, all right. Okay, so down here, I'm going to try and get this shaped as close as I can to the heel joint with the shinto. And then I think I'm probably going to have to go to a half round rasp to try and finish cleaning that up. I think if I scoot this up here a little better, a little more holding support. There. Okay. This half round rasp, I think, is a little bit too rough. Decisions. I got this little guy here. You know, by the way, this thing, I don't even know if I can read here who the manufacturer is. Nicholson. This Nicholson rasp is the absolute perfect diameter for shallow locking tuners and for CTS pots. So you're trying to, you know, waller out a hole on a headstock or on a body hole where you're trying to get a CTS pot or a shallow locking tuner. This is the perfect diameter to run through. Once it gets all the way through there like that, it's wide enough. It's I've had this one for a long time, and it has gotten its use. That side's done. And then you can flip that back around. Where'd you put it? There we go. A little bit of shelf liner here, because no, still not really, but my neck has the scoots, so all right. Wait, kind of like starting away from myself first. garage fridge. I've got that 4-way rasp. Metal bar like that. It's got 4 spots on. Can you grab that for me? I know, on top of the fridge is a stupid place to store a rasp, right? Well, I was using it for electrical work, so it just happened to involve the refrigerator, and since it was the nearest shelf to set something on while I was working, and that's where it ended up residing. So, put your tools away when you're done using them, kids. Unless you can remember where you laid every one of them down. Then you can go ahead and just ask your lovely assistant to run upstairs and it's on the shelf behind the cat litter box or something like that. You remember where you put it every time. I usually don't. I got lucky this time. I hope. Unless she comes back and tells me that's not actually where it was. We'll see what happens. Now that I think about it, I hope she can see on top of the fridge. She's not exactly, we're not evenly proportioned between the two of us. Let's put it that way. All right. I actually got this tool years ago for electrical work, and you can see it's had its years of use. But this thing's kind of nifty because it's got a flat and rough and fine, and then it's got a half round or quarter round rough and fine. So it's kind of a nifty little tool. Maybe not fancy, but it gets the job done. And I didn't pay what someone would pay for like an Iwasaki file or something, so that's... Yeah, I like it. Nice and meaty. Gonna have to put some sandpaper to it yet, of course, but yeah, once I get to that point, I think I might have to round that transition a little bit there too. But, okay. So Decisions. Okay, I think at this point, I have my neck roughed. It's not sanded or anything, but it's roughed. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Boy, I don't know, folks. We're rapidly approaching that time where I'm going to have to start laying out for bridge and pickup location, which honestly is making me nervous. The whole aspect of it makes me nervous. Measuring correctly, getting it square. There's a whole lot of things I've just never done before. So, I think my crimson nut might be just a little bit too wide. No. When it's snug, it's not so snug that it's trying to burst the end of the fretboard off.